Monday Mentorship, the space and the place where you show up to take your business to the next level. So today we are going to take a deep dive on exactly why are we not getting the income if we're putting in the effort. That's right. So stay with me and we're going to get deep into this today because here at Make Money Monday Mentorship, we only talk about one thing, and that's scaling and thriving in this marketplace. And this is not only for realtors, team leaders, brokers, it's for absolutely every single person in the business world. So let's start off with acknowledging the 3.7 million Facebook members or followers or friends that we have access to. And did you know that we have 3 million people on Instagram right now? So today we are bringing this Make Money Mentorship across different platforms, including YouTube, where there is right now 2.6 million users. And why is this important to know? Why am I kicking off our Make Money Monday mentorship with the population of Facebook, the population of Instagram, the users on YouTube? Because my friends, the first thing that I want you to know is that it's not just about your efforts. It's about the results that your efforts are producing. And if your efforts are not turning into income yet, it's because you've got to go in and do a deep dive and audit. Let's start off by understanding that what we did in 2004 and in 2005 is no longer going to work. That's right. Whatever you were doing to run your business in 2004 and 2005, if you are not evolving, if you are not doing things differently, it's not going to work. We are in a new era of business. So for those of you that are watching live, and I know that there's people that are connected, and I'm going to ask you to share, like, comment, and continue sharing so that we could blow up this mentorship session and really start to bring this level of information to people all across, not just Southwest Florida, but all across the planet. Let's break this down. What you were doing in 2004 and 2005 has to have evolved. We already know that we are 2 years into the artificial intelligence. We already know that there's so many things that are shifting. We already know that things are changing at basically the speed of light. So I want you to drop in the comments, where are you watching from? Give me a hashtag live if you're watching live. Give me a hashtag replay if you're watching on replay. Because today we're really going to focus on our daily method of operating. Here's the thing. If you're using the same daily method of operating that you were using 24, 36, 48 months ago, that's not going to turn into income. One of the biggest things that I have, people in the marketplace reach out to me and ask me is, where should I begin first if I want to take my business to the next level? Where should I start out first if I want to take my business to a level that is going to, really produce the results that I want? That's really going to give me the results that I'm looking for. And the first thing that I'm going to tell you is, where exactly is that place? See, one of the things that we must understand is that we are not all called to work with everybody. Don't make the mistakes that I used to make. Don't be a jack of all trades and a specialist of nothing per se, right? And you could just be focusing on one business. Let's say your business is real estate. I always use real estate because real estate and the principles that create money in real estate are really universal. They're universal. You could apply them to any business and you're going to get results. But here's the thing. Where is that place you want to go to? What does it look like? And for a very long time, I've understood that the money is moved by people. There is no lack of money on the planet, my friends. There is absolutely no lack of money. There's so much money on the planet that there's more billionaires being created right now than ever before in the history of business. Let that sink for a little bit. There is no lack of money. There is more money right now than ever before. There's more billionaires with a B being created right now than ever before. So, what does that really tell us? What does that really signify? What does that really, you know, what is the signal you're supposed to be getting? Because success leaves signals. So go look at the people that are really scaling. Go look at the people that are really hitting the mark. Go look at the people that are thriving and those people that are, performing at a very high level. Today, my throat is a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit hoarse. I'm talking too much, but that's a good thing. So I'm gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna be very mellow today. I'm gonna be very mellow today. I'm not gonna be so hardcore because I don't want to get my throat discombobulated. But where do you begin to scale your business? The first thing is to understand that the consumer has shifted. You are no longer looking for people in the newspapers. You're no longer looking for businesses in the white pages, or it's not even on Google. Like, Google is not, I mean, let me tell you, Google is important for what Google is important for. But if your name, and I'm going to tell you to do this exercise because I shared this exercise today with my MMA Monday Masterclass people. Check this out. What would happen? What would happen if you went on ChatGPT right now and you said, I am in the city of blank? Drop your city in the comments. Whatever city you're in, I'm in the city of blank. And I want you to tell me if I were a buyer for blank, whatever it is that you sell. So for example, if I'm in the city of blank, whatever that city is, in the city of Miami, the city of, Kissimmee, the city of, Rochester, New York, the city of Los Angeles. It doesn't matter where you are. And I know people are going to see this all over the nation. If I am a buyer that's looking to buy, let's say, a house in the city of Los Angeles, tell me who are the top 5 people I should be reaching out to. And if your name does not appear in your city when you ask ChatGPT, that's a sign. That is a sign of several things, and I'm going to break them down for you today. But here's what I want you to understand. You must play at a different level. The consumer is no longer the same consumer that we have been working with for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And just as that is a challenge, it's also an opportunity. Because what if you became the go-to? Drop it in the chat. What if whatever it is that you sell, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you represent, you became the go-to? And the beauty is that you could literally, go to ChatGPT and say, if I wanted to be the go-to whatever in the city of whatever, tell me what are the things that you would recommend that I start doing immediately to become the go-to. That is so powerful. That is something I've never been able to do in 25 years of being in real estate, except for now. That is the power of artificial intelligence, that it's literally taking the intelligence of the planet and putting it at your disposal. But you must know how to execute at that level. So we all want to be the go-to. Somebody was telling me today, like, I want to be the person everybody thinks about. I want to be the person everybody thinks about. I want to be the person that everybody says, you know what, go to so-and-so. If you need this, go to so-and-so. How do you think you become the person that everybody refers that everybody says, go to this person if you're looking to, you know, take your business to the next level. If you're looking to do whatever it is you're looking to do, drop it in the chat. What do you think is the first thing you must do? What do you feel is the first thing that must happen? Well, I'm going to tell you. As soon as I take a peek here and check out all my friends on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, light up that chat, ask me some questions, say, hey, hi, how you doing, Lucy? And if you are here on Facebook or you are on YouTube, show me some love today. Today, we're just going to go deep. We're going to go deep on, if your efforts are not turning into income yet. Okay. And I'm saying yet intentionally, because I know that this message is going to reach people that are wanting to go to another level, that are willing to go to another level, that are gonna go to another level, because you wouldn't be watching if you didn't want to go to another level, right? So give me a number 1 in the chat if you're with me so far. You're doing certain things, but those things are still not turning into the income that you want. So this is where you need to stop scrolling. You need to stay with me, because that's what I'm talking about here at Make Money Monday Mentorship. So we're dissecting the concept of, how do I become the person that everybody knows, everybody likes, and everybody trusts? How do you become the go-to? And that's exactly what you must start to focus on. How do I become the person that people know, that they like, and they trust? And let me tell you, not everybody's going to know you, like you, and trust you, but there's a huge opportunity. You got 3.7 million people on Facebook. Okay. You've got 3 million people on Instagram. You've got 1.9 million people on TikTok. You've got 2.6 million people on YouTube. I mean, you don't need everybody. You just need enough people to make you a millionaire. But what's the first thing you must do? The first thing you must do is be found. Drop it in the comments. I must be found. I must stop being. Drop it in the comments. I must become visible. People must see me. They must see me. They must hear me. And let me tell you, in the ocean of social media, because I know you are doing your 1 reel a week. I know you're trying to do your 1 story a day. I know you're doing a live once a month. Guys, you got to level up. You got to level up. That is, nobody's seeing that, because there's so much noise on social media that you've got to get super loud. You got to put yourself on blast. Drop it in the chat. I got to put myself on blast. Have you been to a party and they just blast the music? Well, that's how you got to get on social media. You got to put yourself on blast, and you have to stop convincing yourself that nobody's going to watch you, that nobody's going to hear you, that nobody's paying attention. Let me tell you, there's more people paying attention to you than you imagine if you are on blast. So put it in the chat. You got to be on blast. And you've got to collaborate with other people. Listen, there's one thing that I'm going to do that I haven't done yet. But it's like, we got to go. Let me tell you, the wave is here. The second wave of the last, the second wave of the last 15 years is here. Real estate and business has been easy for 15 years. You haven't heard this before? Here's your news flash. Drop it in the comments. Here's my news flash. We are right now experiencing the second wave of the last 15 years. Okay? The first wave, it was an easy wave. It was one of those little bloop waves. Like a bloop, it was easy. Real estate was easy. Business was easy. Everybody was taking orders. Everybody was making money. Everybody was moving from here to there. A lot of people got into real estate in the last 15 years, and it's, last 10 years, it's been easy. But now this second wave, this is a big wave. And you've got to get in front of this big wave, because this is your huge opportunity. This is the opportunity you have to be able to be at the forefront. So the number one thing you got to do is be visible. And if you're playing small, which means, like, if you're just doing enough, right? If you're not doing whatever it is that you're doing to really make a dent, that's how you know you're not doing enough. Like, you've got to go all in. You've got to be like a jackhammer. You've literally got to be like a jackhammer. You literally have to be, doing things that other people are not doing. So how do you become the go-to? Clip this, clip it. How do you become the go-to? How do you become the person that everybody knows to send people to you when someone needs the problem that you solved for someone? You become visible. You become visible. And you put yourself on blast. You put yourself on blast that even if somebody wants to turn you down, or, lower your vibe or lower your shine, like, they can't, because you're just like all over the place. You're like a beach ball. The more they try to push you down, the higher you're going to, bounce back. And that's exactly what must happen right now. You got to be visible. You've got to be so visible. And here's the other thing I want you to know. What's the number 2 thing? Clip this. Your problem is not maybe that people don't know who you are and what you do. Your problem is they don't know where to find you. Like, people have to be able to find you so easily, because people don't want to go searching for you. Like, they want to be able to find you easily. They have to be able to find you so easily. And you got to make it easy for the consumer to find you. First of all, you've got to, give your audience a message that matches their needs. What is the problem that you solve? You got to be visible, and then you have to be easily found. You cannot be a secret agent. People cannot be hunting you down. It's not people's responsibility to remember you. I love it when people say, well, I called them once. I called them one time. I sent them one message. I sent them an email. Listen, nobody reads emails. Like, emails are just like a cherry on top. That's not the main course. Like, hello, newsflash, clip this, clip it. I'm going to be saying clip it a lot. If you're just sending one email every now and then, you're being lost in the ocean of emails. We are not that important for people to have to save us, hunt us down, go figure out how to find us, take, their time to be able to reach us. It is our job. It is your job. It is my job to be frontline, top of mind, frontline, top of mind, findable, easily visible. Like, you have to be in people's, minds with your message. The other day I was at an event. I went to an event the other day, and I was talking. That's probably why I lost my voice. I was talking because it was really loud, but I was losing my voice before. And somebody walked up from behind me, right? And this person said, I recognized the voice as soon as I walked in. I recognized your voice as soon as I walked in. How many people do you want to be able to recognize your voice? Repeat after me, a lot. You want a lot of people. So you got to be findable, easily findable. Like, your phone number should be on blast. Oh, Lucy, but that's my direct line. Exactly. That's your direct line. You want to share that direct line because you don't work for the FBI. You're not an undercover agent. You're not a CSI or, CIA business. You want to be findable. You want to be visible. Your phone number should be where people could find you. Guys, today, Today, I was on a Zoom call with my business partners, and they were talking about something that I've got to find a way to do this. Let me tell you, studies have shown, clip it, studies have shown that when people try to reach you, you have 5 minutes to be able to respond, to have the highest level of conversion. So let's say a new customer is trying to reach you. Someone that is wanting to do business with you wants to reach you. Literally, if you're in sales, you've got 5 minutes to respond to that person. That's why I tell everybody, listen, I don't know where people put their phones. I have no idea where people put their phones, that it takes hours or days to get a call back. That's why, like, I wonder. And let me tell you, on this call, especially for you if you're in real estate, especially for you if you're in sales, especially for anybody that their business has to do with sales, there are companies right now that are using artificial intelligence to actually book their appointments, okay, to talk to their customers, to convert these leads. So if you're not on top of your game, if you're not A class, if you're not on point, if you're not world class with your responsiveness, that's the next thing you have to be. You have to be responsive. Listen, I'm pushing myself. I'm not there yet. I'm not sharing this because I'm perfect. I'm sharing this because I know this is what it's going to take. This is what it's going to take for you to level up, for you to go to another level, for you to be able to really win in the game of business. And I don't care what you sell. If your efforts are not turning into income yet, then you need to go higher. You need to go deeper. You need to go faster. There's something that you're missing. If it's not, you need more conversations. Like, for example, did you know you got to do at least 5 conversations a day with new people? It's 5 conversations a day. If you reach out to people, right, and you have 5 conversations a day, that's 25 people a week. That's 1,250 conversations a year. Do you think your bank account will look different if you have 1,250 conversations a year? Tell me, give me a number 10 in the chat. Give me a heck yes, Lucy, I believe it. If you did 1,250 conversations every 12 months, would your bank account look different? Of course it would. Would the amount of sales you have look different? Of course it would. You know, that's why I focus on doing one to many. That's why I focus on doing my weekly Make Money Monday mentorship. That's why I do my weekly MMA Monday masterclass. That's why I do my weekly Winners Wednesday productivity bootcamp. It's like, baby, I am on top of this wave and I am not going to let go. Clip that, clip it. I'm on top of this wave. I'm looking for, you know, mega players that are hungry, that are in it to win it, that say, you know what, Lucy, that's it. I'm graduating from this low level of playing and I want to go to a higher level. I want to be pro level. I want to be pro standard. I want to be the go-to. I want to be the go-to. I want to be the next whatever you decide. But it's going to take a lot of intentionality. That's the next thing I want you to write down. Intentionality. Thank you for putting your comments in the comments. I appreciate that. When you guys put your comments in the comments, it energizes me, but also put your questions. So intentionality. Today I was telling someone, you know what? We're not going to send out these messages like that. We're not just going to send out messages at random because I have to be very intentional. You know, I've got to practice what I preach. Otherwise, I'm a hypocrite. And that's what's happening in our industry. We've got a lot of people that, you know, preach, but they don't practice. Right. And that's why we're also seeing a shift. Like, people are looking for who to trust. Who do I know? Who do I trust? Who could help me move forward? Who could I know? Who could I trust that can help me solve this problem? What is the problem that you solve? What is the problem that you solve? What is the solution you bring to the table? Like, I bring to the table helping people to make more income, helping people to scale their business. The problem that I solve is low money making activity. The problem that I solve is inconsistent income. The problem that I solve for people is I'm stuck, I'm stale, and I'm stagnant. The problem that I solve is I am in chaos and I don't know how to get ahead. I'm stuck. I'm spinning my wheels every single day. The problem that I solve is I help people find the fastest way to get to where they want to go in the shortest amount of time. What people need to do is they need to cooperate. They need to be coachable. They need to be trainable. They need to be moldable because, guys, if you don't learn, grow, and change, you're going to be drowned by this wave, you know? And we're all in this game together. Trust me. So today, when I was on the Zoom call, which all of you should be on the Zoom call with my business partners, because I'm telling you, these people are like in another stratosphere. The way that they perform, the way that they play the game of business, not just real estate business, the way that they walk, they talk, they think. And I use walk in the sense of, you know, what we do, the way that they act, the way that they perform, the way that they, you know, run their businesses is so on point. How do you run your business day in and day out? Okay. So that's right. If you want to join the Zoom call that I join every Monday at noon, and you really want to hear how people are playing at another level, just go ahead and DM me, you know, because it's another level of playing. So if your efforts are not giving you the results that you want yet, hey, the good news is I can help you. Drop it in the chat. You want me to help you? Say, help me. Help me. Help me. Just put it in the chat and say, help me. And you know what? I will give you as a free gift a 10-minute, you know, discovery call, 10-minute discovery call, 10 minutes, boom. I'll diagnose whatever your challenge is, and then it's up to you. It's up to you to change it. See, we got to be coachable. So today on this Zoom call, they were talking about the level of responsiveness. And it's funny because last week I was telling someone, I was saying, like, I don't know where people put their phones. Like, we are in a world where you've got to be reachable. You've got to perform at a very high responsive level. And I cannot imagine why it takes somebody hours or days to respond to a message, unless they're just ignoring us, right? And that's the message we give out. Like, when we don't, I heard this the other day. I heard the other day where somebody said that when we don't respond to a message right away, we're really sending out a message. Clip it. When we don't respond to a text or a call or a voice note or a WhatsApp, you know, even if just acknowledging it, we're really sending a message. You may not respond to the message, but you're sending a message. And the message is, you're not important. What you said is not important. And what you're sharing really doesn't matter. How long does it take to give someone a thumbs up on a text message? How long does it take to give somebody a little heart? You know, and that's where we're moving to. We're moving. If you want to be the go-to, you're gonna have to start doing things others are not willing to do. You got to start standing out. You've got to stand out. You've got to be the differentiator, right? And it's funny because this is new to everyone. This is new to absolutely every single person. And that's why it's such a huge opportunity, because imagine everybody's having to reinvent themselves. Give me a number 7 in the chat if you understand that we are all having to reinvent ourselves. All of us. What we did in 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is no longer working. It's no longer working. So today, I also want to ask you this question. Clip this. Who is your audience? Who is the person that you are the best to serve? And where do you find them? Where do you find them? I was sharing that this morning at the MMA Monday Masterclass, and it's crazy how, yes, it takes work. Like, Lucy, who do you serve? Boom. Realtors, team leaders, brokers, business professionals, and entrepreneurs that are looking to scale and thrive in their business in this season. People that are stuck, stale, and stagnant. People that want to get faster to wherever it is that they want to go. People, who are the people that I can best serve at the highest level? People that are coachable, people that are trainable, people that are open-minded and are big thinkers. I can't help anybody that's not open-minded, big thinker, coachable, and trainable. How can I help someone? I love it when people tell me, how do I convince my customer? Well, how does anybody convince you? Nobody can convince you. So in this season, you've really got to sit back. You've got to take time and you've got to, you know, audit your business. Really figure, where do I want to be? Lucy, I want to build, for example, my husband's a builder. I want to build 200 homes. Excellent. Where are you now? Here's where I'm at. I want to get to 200, but I'm here. What do I have? I have a gap. There's a gap. My job is to figure out, how do I close that gap? Maybe you've got to delegate. Maybe you've got to bring more people, to become your collaborators, more people to bring your brand ambassadors. Maybe you've got to get blast on social media or find somebody that blasts you on social media. You definitely have to be findable, visible, reachable, immediate responsiveness. Guys, on this Zoom call today, they were talking about artificial intelligence answering the calls. I just started with a program. That's answering all my calls at the office. Why? Because I am done. I am done with the human element answering the calls. Because humans, I believe, are irreplaceable. Where humans are best positioned to be world class. So let me break that down for you. Clip it. Can AI replace humans? Absolutely not. Wherever humans decide to be world class, AI cannot replace you. But if humans continue to play at a low level standard, below average level standard, or with no standards, of course AI is going to be better. And that's one of the things we have to understand. Okay, so where am I best suited to function? And I know for you perfectionists out there, for you, analysis paralysis kind of people, you want to see the whole picture, then it's not going to continue to work that way. You've got to figure out, where are you best positioned to function at a very high level? And I personally believe, this is my personal opinion, that if you become your best promoter, your best number one spokesperson of what you do and how you do it and who you're here to serve and why you are the problem solver for whatever problem it is that you solve, and you become visible and you become loud and you put yourself on blast and you stay in your lane being the number one promoter of what you do to your audience, AI cannot replace that. There's no way you could bring an AI to do a Make Money Monday mentorship that will do what I do the way that I do it, with the vibe that I do it. There's no way. You already know. Why? Because there's a human connection between me and my audience. And that human connection is irreplaceable. Now, don't get me wrong. And this is really important for all of us to understand. AI is not going to replace you, but the people that are using AI are going to replace you. I don't believe AI can replace us, but the people that are using AI can replace us, because they're going to go faster, bolder, more brilliant, right? And they're going to be more on point. So that's why we're all in the same boat. We've got to up our game. Let me just share something. I saw something this morning. As I was getting ready at 6 a.m, I was getting ready for going over my stuff for my MMA Monday Masterclass. And by the way, clip it. We do not cancel MMA Monday Masterclass. If I'm traveling, somebody's going to be there bringing something powerful and of that. We don't cancel. We are not the kind of people that cancel anything. We don't cancel it. We push through. We're the kind of people that do what we say and say what we do. So show up. We will be there at MMA Monday Masterclass. Doors open at 9:30 and we start at 10. And let me tell you, today's money making activity Monday Masterclass was on point. If anybody was there this morning, drop it in the chat. What did you think about today's MMA Monday Masterclass? Drop it in the chat. Give me your feedback. I want your feedback, guys. Show me some love. If you were at the MMA Monday Masterclass today, drop it in the chat. What did you think? To me, listen, we ended with a song. That's how good it was. We ended our MMA Monday Masterclass with a song. I didn't plan that. It just worked out that way because there was such a vibe. There was such an energy, such an atmosphere. You know, everybody showed up hungry. I mean, imagine being at a table where you've got the best meal that is satisfying, fulfilling, and it's delicious, and everybody shows up hungry. Tell me that's not a beautiful thing to see. Like you're just and you're talking and you're enjoying it. That's the kind of vibe we have today at MMA Monday Masterclass. Yes, I've got somebody here that said mind changing, amazing, incredible, fantastic, phenomenal. Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing on the. So if your efforts are not turning into income yet, then you've got to go check your level of visibility, your level of being findable. You got to be findable. You have got to be findable, my friends. Put it in the chat. I've got to be findable. You've got to put yourself on blast. Put yourself on blast in social media. Let's see. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting to share, do? Oh, you guys are hearing some noise. It's raining. Sorry. Lord, can you stop the rain, please? Okay. Actually, he listened. It stopped. Zip it. Zip it. I'm on MMA Monday Masterclass, Lord. Give me a second. You can pour some rain as soon as I'm done. We'll be done in a little bit. So is there anything else? Let's see some questions. I'd love to interact with you guys here today. Let's see what questions. Give me a challenge that you're going through. Let's do a little Q&A session. What is one of your challenges, or asking for a friend? Let's do an asking for a friend. Okay, how about if we do an asking for a friend session? So ask me any question you want. I know it's not you. It'll be for a friend. Ask me any question you want. Let's see. Let me look over here. Okay. It was all right. People are still writing. Thank you for writing in the chat. People are still writing about today's MMA Monday Masterclass. But let's do a little session of asking for a friend. Any questions you may have that you want to ask for a friend? Okay. All right. So asking for a friend. How do I figure out who my audience is? Great question. How do you figure out who your audience is? I love that question. So let me tell you who your audience is not. Okay. And I know we've got 3 million people on Facebook, 3.7 million on Facebook, 3 million on Instagram. We've got 1.9 million people on TikTok and 2.6 million people on YouTube. There's a lot of people out there, my friends, and everybody is not your audience. So for me to answer the question, who is your audience? Let me tell you who your audience is not. Your audience is not everybody, because we are not called to serve everybody at the highest level. So let's do a little bit of reverse engineering, right? So what is the problem that you solve? Find what is the problem that you solve, not what you do, what you solve, right? And then think of the people that have that problem. And then once you figure out what is the problem that you solve and you think of the people that have that problem, Then you ask yourself the $1 million question. Clip it. Where are these people? Where are these people that I can serve at a very high level, that I can solve this problem for, right? And that I can get my message in front of them the fastest. Where are these people? The number one place that your audience is at, it's in your phone. Your initial audience is in your phone. Your contacts is your initial audience, because everybody in your contacts, some way, somehow, had a connection with you, even if it was just, that's why, in my opinion, networkings are not going to work the way they have worked until now, right? Because that's all we had. All we had for meeting people was networking. But here's the problem with networking: they happen so far apart, it's impossible to build a relationship and a common unity with people from networking. I mean, you got to go to years and years of networking in order to build trust, in order to build that relationship with people. And right now, everybody is looking to do something when? Later or now? Now, right? So you've got to find a way to be putting your message out every single day. Every single day. And you might as well start now, because it takes time to master your craft. It takes time to master your craft. So what's the problem that you solve? Who are the people that have that problem? And where could you find them? And the first place you want to look is on your phone, because those people are there. Hey, those people at least know you. You know, I got to do that more myself. Guys, don't think that I practice what I preach, but that doesn't mean that I've perfected my craft. There's always another level. There's always another level. And here is the biggest challenge. People are expecting immediate results, and that is not the case. So we get bored. Oh, I did an open house and nobody showed up. I did an open house one time and nobody showed up. Listen, I went to Cabo. Clip it. I went to Cabo and I surrounded myself for 4 days, total immersion. Drop it in the comments. Total immersion with the top 1% from across the nation. It was so powerful. It was so intimate. It was so mind-blowing. And when you see the level that these people talk, perform, and conduct their businesses at, it's like, wow. And one of the biggest things they all said is, it's no longer going to be the same way. You've got to level up, okay? You've got to level up. You've got to, find a way to get to that next level. That's how you're going to outperform your competition, for a lack of a better term. So listen, real quick, I want to remind everybody, drop it in the chat, Winners Wednesday Naples edition. Winners Wednesday Naples edition is this Wednesday, because it's the third Wednesday of every month. We expand into the Naples area. I love Naples. Naples is a different vibe. Naples is just a totally different element. And there's no reason why we can't expand and build connections. And I'm going to have such a great fireside chat. I'm gonna ask my team to drop the link in the comments. Go ahead and click right now. Save your spot for Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp, Naples edition, the #1 business growth experience in all of Southwest Florida. And if you're not in Southwest Florida, you should come and visit us. And so I want to answer. Yes, we're gonna have my friend Tim Lou. Somebody share this live with Tim Lou. Say Lucy's giving you a shout out. Let me tell you, you gotta be at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp, Naples edition this Wednesday and meet Tim Luz. I met Tim Luz in 2023. One of the things that I love about him is that I got a little excited. I told you I had to keep it mellow because my throat My vocal cords, I think they're overexerted. I got to give them a little rest. I've been talking too much, but Tim Luz, he is one of those connectors that is worth getting to know. You know, he is one of those people. He's the friendliest guy. He loves to chat. But I realized, I said, you know what, Tim? I want to feature you at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp Naples Edition. Because, guys, if you don't know this, drop it in the chat. But who wants to know a secret about me? Who wants to know a secret? I'm going to tell you a big secret about me that maybe people don't know. Let's see. Who wants to hear a secret? Give me number 3 in the chat if you want to hear the secret. I'll tell you and only you if you want to hear this secret. And while we do that, I am going to asking for a friend. So go ahead and drop your questions asking for a friend. So I know it's not you. You're just asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. What's the best tip you have for someone that's starting their physical health journey? I love that question. So let me tell you what I believe is the number 1 tip. You may not believe me when I tell you this. You may not believe me when okay, we got some number 3s going in the chat. I'm going to tell you the secret about me first. The secret about me is, drum roll, I am a potential hunter. Like, I see people and I immediately can start to identify their potential, right? And then as I get to know them better, I start to realize what their limitations are, right? So for example, you know, we're all great at something, but we're not great at everything. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're all great at something, but we're not all great at everything. But I am a potential hunter. Like, I know how to hunt for potential. So that is a little secret about me that most people don't know. That after training over 7,500 people since 2012, like, I guess it's what happens when you just do something so many times, right? So I am a potential hunter. And so Tim Luz, he is just a connector. He is the friendliest person. He loves to chat. And I realized, I said, you know what? I want to feature him at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp Naples Edition because I love what he does. He has so much knowledge. He is like positioning himself very, very strongly in Naples. He's literally taking over. I mean, if you don't know this, come out and meet him and ask him how he's doing it. He's taking over. I say taking over because I see him, you know, little by little, climbing that ladder of success in a community. And the part that I love the most is that he's having fun while he does it. So he's going to be my featured fireside chat guest at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp Naples Edition. So go ahead and make sure it's going to be at Legends restaurant or sports bar and grill, whatever you want to call it. And so super important. Okay, guys, listen. I don't know if you guys know that I put together an ebook, okay? And this ebook is called The Prodigy's Path to Success. It's basically for realtors. So if you want to get your copy of my ebook, A Prodigy's Path to Success, all you got to do is go to the link in my bio and you could click on there and it'll literally take you to where you can purchase your copy of my ebook. And you're going to love it because it's literally the 12 things that you must master. Actually, it's 7 things you must master, and I broke it down into 12 segments. So it's 7 things broken down into 12 segments. So let me get back to asking for a friend. What's the best tip you have for someone that's starting their physical health journey? And I think that this applies to absolutely everything. Guys, you and I both know diets don't work. You and I both know that, doing all this crazy stuff about only eating meat or only eating lettuce or only like all this crazy stuff, you really have to gain clarity. And what I did in 2021, it's going to be 5 years that I decided to change my physical health because I was tired of looking like a chalupa. That's what I would tell myself, because that's the way I felt. So I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. Okay? So don't take it personal, don't take it wrong. But I would wear a dress and I'm like, oh my goodness, I look like a chalupa. I look like a bad wrapped burrito. Like I didn't like it. But what really helped me was I started to envision how I wanted to look. And I started to imagine exactly how I wanted to look when I was in front of people, or when I was speaking in an audience, or when people would see me. I started to visualize, I started to imagine what do I want to represent, And I know that sometimes, we think we need to change our physical health because our loved ones or our family, or no, you got to do it for you. And so that was my number one thing that I did. And I literally recall, like I could even go on my phone right now and I could look up, let me see, I could look up an audio. I did an audio because I started, it all began with really becoming aware that for me to become the best version of myself, it included changing my physical health, And I think that's one of the biggest things that we hallucinate about, that we don't realize that it's gonna take learning, growing, and changing. So I said, okay. And I remember my friend and coach, who I've learned from since 2015, he would say, everything begins with your physical health. Everything begins with your physical health. Everything begins with your physical health. And he's an older man and he's very, very fit, very strong, and just looks very healthy physically. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what he meant. But now I understand. If you could dominate your mind to be able to take control of your physical health, you can dominate your mind to change everything else. And that's where consistency begins. Consistency begins in your mind. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't have clarity on how do you want to look, listen, or how do you not want to look? Because if you are like, well, I'm not going to be talking in front of people like you, and I'm not going to be traveling the world and speaking to audiences on stage, and, I'm not going to do what you do. Okay, then how do you not want to look? Because guys, at the end of the day, when we stand in front of the mirror, there's only one of two things. And let me tell you, I came back from Cabo and I'm like, I'm fasting. We got to get this thing back on track. I am fasting. The first thing I told my husband yesterday is, babe, when you make my coffee in the morning, no cream, because we got to get this body in check. Clip it. We got to get this body back in check. And I know the things I have to do to get this body back in check, because I know how I want this body to look. And there's only one boss when it comes to my life, and it's Lucy Q. I run this show. I can't be blaming nobody. Oh, because, so-and-so or this and that. No, I decide. So there's two things. I decided yesterday I got to get back on point. There's actually three. Number one, I got to fast until noon. That's one of my rituals. If you want my rituals, I'll give you my ritual. Who wants my rituals? Because If you don't have a vision for how you want your physical health to look, because maybe you're like, well, I don't need to do that because Lucy, I'm not like you. Okay, fine. So how do you not want your physical health to look? Hey, I knew how I didn't want my physical health to look. I didn't want to look like a chalupa. I was done looking like a burrito. Nope, I don't like it. And here's what happens. Here's where the magic happens. When you learn to dominate your mind and control what you do for your physical health, your energy goes up and a body in motion stays in motion, so you perform at a higher level. All your good hormones explode. So your dopamines and your serotonins and all these other things inside our body, they start like getting your mind to think clearer. And then when you start seeing the results, you become more confident. And then when people tell you how good you look, you're like, thank you. And let me tell you, I am organic. I have not done any surgeries on my body. The day that I need to snip, snip, tuck, tuck, and whatever, I'll do it. I mean, if you got to help Mother Nature, help Mother Nature out. But I wanted to pay the price. And I wanted to really experience the power of dominating my mind to the point where I made myself do the things that I didn't want to do. And that has helped me become the most confident and most consistent in every other area of my life. So Lucy, how have you become so consistent? Because since 2021, I believe it was this, I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to look it up because I need to remember these dates, right? We got to track and we got to measure so we can manage. Let me look right here. Let me see. It was, okay, July 29th of 2022. I started recording my declarations, what I wanted to see happen, how I wanted to feel, where I believed I was going. And I remember I would continuously say, I am firm, fit, and strong. I am firm, fit, and strong. I am firm, fit, and strong. That's how I want to look. I want to look firm, fit, and strong. So right now, my ritual, which I got to get back, I got back on track today. I fast until noon. That means nothing that has any, anything. Like it's either black coffee or tea with nothing. Because the moment you break your fast, it's over. Your body stops burning, its own fat. If you're like me, I got fat to burn, especially now after coming from Cabo. Because yes, I gave myself a treat. I ate more, anything, whenever, however, if I wanted, whatever. But I still ran. I still exercised. Okay, I still ran. So my second ritual is running. Like you gotta be in motion. You gotta move your body. Move your body, right? That's the only way that you're gonna get physically fit. And my third one is I hired a trainer and I need to find another trainer because my other trainer went MIA. And I'm noticing the difference. I'm noticing the difference from having a trainer to trying to do it on my, listen, I'm confessing right now. This is a transparency, vulnerable confession moment. I am noticing the difference between when I had the trainer and then when I started doing it on my own. That's why you need a mentor. That's why you need a coach, because we think we could do it on our own, but we cannot. So that being said, I gave you my ritual. I gave you my number one tip. And that's all, folks. So let me see. Any other questions that we have here? That's it. Go get your ebook. Get your ebook. Go on my link in my bio and grab your ebook. And you can also, the last thing that I do is I take a lot of supplements to help me sleep, supplements to help me focus, supplements to keep me healthy, strong, fit, and trim. I take supplements for my hair. See my hair? I take supplements to keep me looking young because I don't know about you, but I'm not aging. I'm getting older, but I'm not aging. So you can go buy all your, if you want to know what I take, I'll share it with you. And you could go see, check out my shop in my link in my bio. And guys, if your efforts are not producing income, then, go listen to this Make Money Monday mentorship. Again, put it on replay. And I'll see you next time. See you next Monday.